Hello, everybody. I just got done with an MRI for my neck without contrast, so I don't know if that's gonna help or hinder. But honestly, I forgot how loud that noise is. Ugh. I can lay there. My body was comfortable considering I need to lay most of the times in my life because my body is weak. But that loud noise, oof. The biggest one was 4 minutes straight. Anyway, so they gave me everything on a disc. It's in my purse. Take it home. I'm sure the doctor will be like, everything looks great. It was kind of a continuation from the MRI I did last May when I did my brain scans. I was like, why didn't we do my neck to see like how the cervical spine is? Unfortunately, I don't know if they really look at the neck, but I wonder if this plays a part because I do feel like tension from here up and around here, and with the hypermobility that I always have a tightness here. And sometimes when I get really excited, there's like a headachy type tension feeling in the back here and sometimes in the ear too. So I've never had my I'm gonna say it wrong, vestibular system checked. I don't know how you check that. I don't know how you check to like regulate your nervous system and stuff. That's not anything that's in the system. You'd have to go with what somatic therapy or something else. Things that are gonna cost me a lot out of pocket money. Anyway, it's not even 1:30 and it's raining. It's the first rain in the East Bay. Thought I would take a second. I was trying to think of any type of song I could think of in my head, and of course the Taylor Swift's new album was kind of just Ophelia, Ophelia, Ophelia in my head as I was trying to like drown out the noise. Anyway, so I'm just still on my journey to figure out things with the hypermobility. I did finally get through to my insurance. I may have said this on another video, I'm not sure. They will be paying for part of the $900 that I put on for that Comfort Clinic. That is the one that like assessed me for hypermobility, and they pretty much said that I'm on the spectrum. I don't know if I quite have EDS. I had seen my heart doctor. He says you don't have mitral valve prolapse, even though millions of years ago one doctor did tell me I had it. And the aortic dilation root, he said he couldn't see it. He didn't see it, but then there was another part they couldn't see very well, but it looked like it was normal. Anyway, only thing he told me was to like take in more potassium. And they want me to look into getting a defibrillator because my mom had hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. Now, I had to look up how that affects a hypermobile person, and of course they said sometimes you need to have medication and stuff, and I'm like, I already have issues with my body. What my dream is, and pardon the rain because it's getting stronger, is I want to get a PT that is experienced with hypermobility that can help me fix my alignment, know how to do stuff, know how to get a regiment going for how to actually build muscle and strength, and maybe one day do things I never thought I could do, like twerk. Or I tried to take a pole dancing class a million years ago and I had no ab strength, so I was terrible at that too. So I don't know, maybe crazy ambition going into my 50s, but I just have this dream of like getting stronger and more fit and like really knowing how to maneuver my body. I wish that for everybody who has hypermobility or EDS. I don't know if I have POTS. I have this exercise. Well, I am taking 2 classes through Merritt College in Oakland, and one of them is a health class because I wanted to study neurodiverse care. This one's just a general class, so they had us do like a mile walk, and I noticed us just getting up off my couch, like I would spike a little bit, and like it's not as dramatic as some of the people who talk about POTS, but there's still spikes. So I'm one of those people who like, it's not as obvious, but there's still something funny happening. I get a lot of doctors saying that's interesting. So I would be like sitting on the couch at like 66, 67 because I had my watch on, and then I would try to stand up and then it would go to like almost 80, 90, and then most of the walk was like on flatlands. It would sort of start to increase to about 125, 130. And then when you go up to the higher angles, if you were up on a high hill, it would get all the way up to almost 160, which was like my highest. I used to go up to almost 170 and be like, that's too much. Now it's 160 because my heart is just like, oh my God, I feel it. It's really kicking into my chest. So, building stamina and all that is important to me. But, with the extreme fatigue, extreme brain fog, not sleeping well, like sleeping, pardon the rain, but like always feeling like you're awake, or like your brain's awake, or your nervous system's awake, it's been hard. So I think that's the root of everything, and I have to figure out how to deal with that, and get that more quiet and actually relaxed and regulated and sleeping, and hopefully I will start waking up not feeling tired and being able to do stuff. But it's more extreme now, but I've always been a person who's had more energy like later in the day. Like I could be tired early in the day, and then later in the day I have energy, and it's like, wait a minute, now it's hard to get to bed. So it's just very confusing. Anyway, so now I'm contemplating, do I go back home to have lunch and then back out again for my second appointment, which is the TMS, the transsacral magnetic stimulation, which I'm at maintenance right now, only 3 times a week. Well, or do I just, stay out, get the medications I need to get from Walgreens and stay out? And honestly, it's tiring. I just want to go home and watch a Halloween movie. I watched Casper yesterday. So cute. And I was realizing that when that came out, I was like almost 20. Talk about developmental delay. I've always felt like I was like, even though I was 20, I was sort of like at least 4 to 5 years younger mentally. And, not much has changed. I still like a cute little story with a little romance. And my daughter's fallen in love with all the Treehouse of Horrors for The Simpsons. Anyways, so I'm going to close this with, it seems like the last, not the last video, but the 2 videos ago I put out was giving out the question, is there anyone out there who is hypermobile and not neurodiverse? And my answer coming back was, nah, man, we got tons of stuff happening with us. Excuse me, this is me with the clearing throat issue. Thinking I have a mucus issue, which I always do somehow. It's probably connected to all these comorbidities. Anyway, so yeah, lots of people came back and were like, no, I'm hypermobile and I have autism and ADHD, or one or the other, or both, or I have POTS and mast cells and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. It's like a brew. It's like a witch's brew of all kinds of stuff affecting me at the same time. So at this point, I am going to hypothesize that as far as we know, we have not found somebody who's hypermobile without any of the comorbidities. Which gets me to say again, this is why I want to study not only, child development and behavior and things like that for school, because I work at a school. I have kids that I want to take care of and help them with their behavior, but I'm also learning that it's just a lot of health issues. A lot of stuff popping up. Why do you go to the doctors and every time something's wrong, it's like they're like, interesting. My son's 10 and he's got Raynaud's, which I hear is an autoimmune issue. He's autistic and he has ADHD, and he's got shock syndrome, which has to do with his growth height. So we have to give him like human growth hormone to help him grow. And honestly, I'm more concerned about how skinny he is. He's a picky eater, but he eats, but he's just so skinny. So, as a parent, I'm just like, it's the fight between like getting him to just eat, and like trying to get him to eat something that's healthy. With my daughter, she eats fine. She's just too much into sugar. She always feels hot. She gets red and itchy in certain spots already, even before puberty. And and she's a very much of a hothead, emotional child, which I kind of was, but she's a bit more. And I can see that that's going to be a